chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and strawberry flour on top. And this cake is so delicious and so easy to make. I got the cake recipe from the Jaroudi family, and the icing is from the How Not to Die cookbook, and the flower decoration made out of strawberries is my own creation. So this cake is made with whole plant foods. It's a clean cake. In place of oil, applesauce is used, and for the sweetener, dates are used. For the icing, sweet potato and dates are used. And it's just a really beautiful cake, and it's a crowd pleaser. It's great for the holidays, any celebration, birthdays, anything really. It's just a beautiful cake. And let's get started. The ingredients you'll need for the cake are spelt flour, whole wheat flour, oat flour, baking soda, baking powder, cocoa powder, unsweetened almond milk, apple cider vinegar, medjool dates, applesauce, and vanilla. First, soak 1 cup of boiling water with 1 cup of pitted dates for 1 hour. Next, you're going to bake your sweet potato at 425 for 50 minutes, and this is for the frosting. You're going to make your buttermilk substitute by mixing half a cup of non-dairy milk with half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and you're going to set it aside for about 5 minutes. Now you're going to mix your dry ingredients, so that includes 2/3 cup whole wheat flour, 2/3 cup spelt flour, and 2/3 cup oat flour. For the oat flour, I just blended up in my blender some old-fashioned oats. Now you'll add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. You're also going to add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder and mix it all up. Now that my dates are soft, I take the pits out and I dump the dates along with the water into the blender, and I blend it all up to form the date paste. So now I'm mixing my wet ingredients, and that includes 1 cup of date paste, my buttermilk mixture, half a cup of applesauce, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it all up. Now you're going to mix your wet ingredients with your dry ingredients. Now you're going to dump your mixture into your baking pan, and I'm using a 9-inch springform. You can also use a silicone mold as well. And you can also use an 8-inch as well. Spread evenly throughout the pan, and you're going to set it aside until your baked potato is done baking. So 50 minutes have passed and my baked potato is soft, so I'm going to let that cool. And I'm going to now put the cake pan in, but I'm going to set the temperature for 350 degrees. It was at 425 for the baked potato, and now we're changing it to 350, and we're going to set the timer for 30 minutes. While the cake is baking, you're going to make your frosting. So for that, you're going to need your cocoa powder, almond milk, medjool dates, and the sweet potato that you just baked. After your sweet potato has cooled, you're going to scoop out 1.5 cups, and you're going to place it in your blender. Next, add your medjool dates, and the recipe calls for 3 large pitted dates. You can add extra if you'd like it sweeter. Now add 1/4 cup cocoa powder. Add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened non-dairy milk. And now you're going to blend it all up. The recipe didn't call for this, but I decided to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And here's your yummy chocolate frosting. 30 minutes have passed and your cake is ready, so you're going to set it aside and let it cool. So now you're going to release the springform on your cake, and you're going to place it upside down on a platter. And if it does stick a little, that's okay. You can just use a long, thin knife and just be careful you don't scratch your pan, but you can help it along this way. And when I did that, mine came off pretty easily. Now for the fun part, we get to ice and decorate our cake. So I washed my strawberries and I dried them really well so they're not wet at all. I'm slicing them long ways and I'm keeping one large, beautiful strawberry, my prettiest strawberry, I'm keeping that for the center of the flower. And here we're icing our cake, and you can ice the sides too if you'd like. That's what I did. Now this cake is not too tall, so if you want it taller or if you want to add a double layer with icing in the middle, you can just double the cake and the icing recipe. Now it's time to add the flower decoration. So you're going to put the point of the strawberry outward and you're going to connect the sides of the strawberries and you're just going to go around the entire cake. So for your second row of your flower, you're going to overlap the strawberries just a little bit and you're going to continue going around. Now you're going to put your large strawberry that hasn't been cut up in the center, and you're going to continue putting your strawberry petals around. So now I see some gaps that I'd like to fill in, so I'm adding extra rows of strawberry petals to kind of fill up the flower a bit more. And here's our finished product, a beautiful strawberry flower cake. Thanks so much for watching and happy plant eating.